It was a quiet Thursday evening when it happened. An earth-shattering tremor, the kind that rattles your bones, makes you question everything you know. Elon Musk had just finished his workday, sitting in his office, scribbling down ideas for the next big leap in technology. But the ground beneath him suddenly groaned, and the walls of his sleek, modern skyscraper began to shake violently. The entire building seemed to groan in distress, like a living creature caught in a massive storm. The power went out, and the lights flickered, casting eerie shadows across the room. In that moment, Elon wasn't thinking about his billions, his rockets, or Mars. He wasn't even thinking about the company's stock price or the future of AI. All he could think about was the tiny creature in the other room, the puppy. He had found it just days before, a small, trembling bundle of fur with eyes that seemed too big for its little face. Elon hadn't planned on keeping the dog, but there was something about its desperate need for affection that made him pause. As the building continued to shake, the realization hit him like a cold splash of water. The puppy, alone, scared, was in the other room. The earthquake wasn't something that could be ignored. In that instant, a fierce, uncontrollable urge to protect that tiny creature overwhelmed him. He stood up and bolted for the door. But as he reached the hallway, the building lurched again, harder this time. The floor beneath his feet trembled violently, and a deep, bone-rattling rumble echoed through the walls. He knew the structure couldn't hold much longer. People screamed from all around him. Panic had taken over. But the puppy was still in that room. Against every instinct that told him to run for safety, Elon pushed forward. There was no time for logic, no time for reasoning. There was only the pure primal instinct to save something helpless. He reached the room, the tremors intensifying. As he grabbed the puppy, the world seemed to explode around him. The walls cracked, the floor buckled, yet somehow he made it out, clutching the puppy tightly to his chest. Outside, chaos was everywhere. Buildings had collapsed. People were screaming, running in every direction. But Elon, holding the tiny creature close, felt something deep inside of him stir. He had saved the puppy, but the real change had come within himself. He looked down at the dog, its big eyes staring up at him, with an innocence that was impossible to ignore. It had no idea what had just happened, no idea how close it had come to death. All it knew was that it was safe now. And for the first time in his life, Elon felt that deep, unshakable need to protect something. Not a business, not a planet, but a life, pure and simple. As the days passed, Elon realized something that would forever change his perspective. This wasn't just about saving a dog. It wasn't about being a hero or proving anything to the world. It was about rediscovering a part of himself that he had buried deep beneath the weight of his success. He had spent so much time chasing after the next big thing, next-gen tech, space exploration, that he had forgotten the power of compassion, the strength in simple kindness. He took the puppy in, gave it a name, Comet, and began to truly care for it. Each morning, as he walked through his sprawling mansion, he saw the puppy wagging its tail, looking up at him with pure joy. Elon didn't just see a dog. He saw a reflection of the love and kindness he had neglected for so long. He had been so focused on changing the world, he had forgotten how to nurture the little things in life that made it worth living. But now, every day with Comet was a reminder that sometimes, in order to change the world, you first have to change yourself. It wasn't about making rockets fly or sending humans to Mars. It wasn't about innovation or technology. It was about rediscovering the core of humanity, the connection we have to all living things, the need to protect, to love, to be kind. The dog, so small and vulnerable, had been his catalyst. It had forced him to face the one thing he had been avoiding for so long: the quiet, often ignored power of love. In saving Comet, Elon Musk had unknowingly saved himself. And as he sat on the couch with Comet curled up beside him, Elon Musk knew that his life had changed forever. The future might still hold great things, but now he understood that sometimes the greatest breakthrough isn't in the stars. It's right here, on Earth, in the form of a tiny puppy that had shown him the true meaning of strength. The world would never know the quiet change that had taken place in that moment. But for Elon, that earthquake, that tremor of salvation, had led him to a discovery far more powerful than any technology he had ever built. It had led him to himself,